As a group?
Yes.
Yes.
What's it like, being together?
It feels good. Comforting.
How lucky do you feel to be here, to be alive?
Very. Very, very lucky.
I'm sure we all see the tapes already. Every time we see it, I don't think it's possible that anyone survived being in there. And I know it is possible because I did, and we all did. You lived at 7 miracles.
There weren't many. There weren't many miracles that day. I hope we have a few more.
John Jonas was promoted to battalion chief 5 days after the attacks in a somber ceremony for a decimated fire department. He led the men of Ladder 6 into the hell that was the World Trade Center. On duty that day, Mike Medlrum, a 20-year veteran known as the chauffeur because he drives the truck. Sal D'Agostino, 5 years in the department, the son of a retired firefighter. Tommy Falco, 18 years a firefighter. Matt Komorowski, with 12 years experience. And Bill Butler, 7 years on the job, the Ladder Company's strongest man. To them, the man they followed was simply Captain J, the first man into a fire, the last man out.
We were all in the firehouse preparing for roll call at the beginning of the day when the first plane hit.
It was 8:45 a.m. on Tuesday the 11th when the first trade tower erupted in flames. From their firehouse in nearby Chinatown, Ladder Company 6 made it to the scene in minutes, driving into a hailstorm of debris.
So we had to look up and make sure nothing was hitting us while we were getting our tools.
Pieces of building.
Computer monitors smashing in the street next to our apparatus.
Immediately, they saw foreboding images of the injured.
As we entered the building at number 1 World Trade Center, the tower, there were 2 badly burned people right there at the lobby door.
They were in the elevator on the way down. Jet fuel had gotten them. And then it opened up on the lobby floor, and that's how they made it all the way down, even though they were severely burned.
High-rise fires were nothing new to Ladder 6, but a fire fed by the incendiary power of highly flammable jet fuel was another matter. And on this day, the front line was 80 floors up, an arduous climb. But before they even hit the stairs, there was another fireball, this time from the other tower.
Well, we were in the lobby when the second plane hit, and Captain J was at the command post, and you could hear a rumble and an explosion. And from the windows on the World Financial Center across the street, the reflection of the explosion came off of those windows.
Both buildings now blazed, and among the firefighters, there were rumors of hazards they never even imagined.
And then somebody was saying that they were hitting us with rockets from the Woolworth building. Initially, we didn't know it was a plane. They said rockets from the Woolworth building. So I'm like, wow, this is bad. You know, this is going to be real bad to hit us with rockets now. And then somebody mentioned the Pentagon got hit, and then there were reports that the Sears Tower got hit and stuff like that. And I remember telling Tommy, I said, Tommy, this is not going to be good.
What's the worst you expected?
Well, I'm not expecting the building to collapse. I'm expecting to get up there and fight this fire. And the jet fuel, I was worried about the jet fuel in my mind. And, you know.
We could smell that at times.
I think it was coming down
Growing
the
up, we
elevator.
could smell it.
Using elevators was out of the question, so the firefighters headed for stairwell B, the only one that extended all the way down to the lobby.
And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that the stairways only fit 2 people abreast. So there's only one line of firemen going up, single file.
As the line of
the civilians are coming down on the right.
As we started up the stairwell, there was no confusion whatsoever. At one point, I saw at least one person, a woman who had her clothes burned off of her, but men were actually taking their clothes off their sport coats and wrapping them around the injured people.
And the most amazing thing about the people coming down, evacuating this building that is on fire, is that they were breaking into vending machines and handing us water.
Yeah.
They were thinking about us. In the meantime, these civilians were trying to escape a disaster, and they're thinking about us going up.
Were there words of encouragement?
Yes.
God bless you, fire.
God bless you. God bless you.
Go get
There's a lot of that.
You deserve a raise, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know, white people, black people, yellow people, whatever. You know, whomever lives in New York City was coming down that stairwell that day. Some of these people were coming down from, I don't know what floor, and you could see they were exhausted themselves just from walking down.
Well, there was one gentleman that we had pause on the stairway, and he took my helmet off, and he was pouring water over my head, on my neck. he just told me good luck.
They climbed 12 floors before stopping, just 15 or 20 seconds to catch their breath, then pushing on through their exhaustion.
How much weight are you carrying?
We weighed it one time at the firehouse with all our gear, not counting the extra cylinder we were carrying, about 110 pounds.
110 pounds on your back.
Yeah. So I was talking to myself, suck it up. You got to get to the 80th floor.
By the time they reached the 27th floor, they had stopped seeing civilian evacuees. While paused in the stairwell for another moment's rest, something they never thought could happen did.
We heard that rumble that nobody's ever heard before on a 10-story building coming down. And there was a fella on the 27th floor, another captain, and I looked at him, said, "Is that what I thought it was?" He's, "Yeah." I said, "The other tower just collapsed." And I just looked at my guy and says, "Okay, it's time to pull the plug, time to go. If that one can go, this one can go. Yeah, time to go."
The South Tower had vanished, taking with it thousands of people and most of the fire department's command structure. Suddenly, saving the remaining tower seemed too great a risk.
And now we're told to leave, and it's like a paradox, because our job is to go to the fire, but yet we're leaving while the fire's still going.
Battalion Chief Richie Picciotto is still recovering from eye injuries he suffered. Ladder 6 isn't under his command, but on the day of the attacks, their paths crossed. As Ladder 6 began its descent, the chief was some 15 floors below, wielding a bullhorn, trying to clear everyone from the building.
I get to one floor, and I look in the office, and there's approximately, I'll say 50 civilians sitting there. I'm saying, what are these people doing here? I said, we got to get them out. So I say, let's go. And then I see the wheelchairs moving, the people coming up in their walkers. I said, oh, this ain't good.
The chief had to act quickly to evacuate those with disabilities and those too fatigued to go on by themselves.
I'm taking companies and saying, you take this one, you take that one, you take this one.
Captain Jonas and his 5-man company took a woman who had made it down from the 73rd floor. She was so tired, she could barely take another step.
Billy's my biggest, strongest guy. I said, "Billy, just put her arm around you, we'll do the best we can." And she was having a hard time. She was elderly, and she wasn't walking very well.
And was kind of lifting and guiding her at the same time. As I was going down, she seemed like she was scared, and I said, what's your name? And she said, my name's Josephine. And I said, well, Josephine, we're going to get you out of here today.
They hadn't fought the fire that day, but maybe they could save a life. They never suspected the exhausted woman leaning on Billy Butler would wind up saving all of their lives by forcing them to stop when everyone else was fleeing.